What up, though?
What's
This
up?
is Notoriously Opinionated, and I am your host, who goes by a plethora of names, monikers, and one appellation. But for tonight, call me Scrap. You dig?
Yeah.
And track it with me, as always, the hero.
What's up, y'all?
You dig? Hey, we got a special guest host tonight, man. One of my big bros. My guy Reese, man. He pulled up on Notoriously Opinionated. You
What's
dig?
up? That's what's up.
That's my big bro, man. You know what I'm saying? This guy, hey man, me and this guy go back some decades. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just met. You know, we go
Real.
we go back to some trenches. You dig?
Right, that's right.
Hey man, got my partner on here tonight. Got my cousin on here tonight. This is Notoriously Opinionated, and if this is your first time checking out an episode of Notoriously Opinionated, welcome. If you have been rocking with Notoriously Opinionated before tonight, man, welcome back. We sure appreciate y'all being here.
Yes.
Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter, Periscope. Check us out on Facebook, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Notoriously Opinionated, and go to Spotify. Check out Areas of Human Activity on Spotify. Hit that subscribe button and check out your guys and rock with us. You dig? You know? Hey, man. How my guys doing tonight, man? What's up, hero?
Hey man, I'm amped. I'm ready for the show. You know, I got a lot on my mind. And man, this is what we do. We got Reese in the house. And what people don't know about Reese, I'm gonna let them know. Because one thing about Reese is he liked to stay fly and he liked to stay sharp. Like me. Yeah. We love to be on fashion and looking good and smelling good. So this is one brother right here that holds my heart in his fashion completely. Like we tied on that. We gonna be nice and sharp, and we gonna be on point when you see us. That's what we do.
Hey man,
looking good and smelling good.
Hey, when bro get to licking that gold, man, you already know that he think. Hey, when he get to licking that gold, bro.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yeah,
he get to licking that gold, boy. You know that he clean.
That's what's up. That's what's up. A lot of people don't understand, man. But when you've been wearing them blues for as long as we was wearing them, you know, you just got to take an opportunity to jump fresh. You know what I mean? And even when we was in there, you know, you like to get suited and booted.
That's right.
Please believe it. Oh, is that your bad little girl?
Yeah, that's Honey. Sit down.
All right.
Sit. Yeah, that's her, man.
Well, listen. Hey, listen.
Fashion is one of my favorites.
Thanks to Reese for coming on the show. This is what we do, and to have brothers coming out and having an opportunity to show that we can be successful is the beauty of this show. Because where we come from, usually cats come out and they do the exact same things. They end up falling down and they end up going back. So our heads on this show is to stay out of there and to stay out here. And so we going to learn a lot about Reese tonight for you out there. And we going to also learn a lot about what we've been through. And we going to hit on some very special subjects, just like Nate Robinson got hit on in his life.
Hey, man, you already know for the next 50 some odd episodes, I'm on Nate Robinson's top. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
the white boy threw the white boy connected 8 punches. 2 of them knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense, man. Hey, man, that dude has disgraced all of pugilism, bro. Like, as a former boxer, that is that was disgraceful. Like, bro, when you watch that fight, Reese, hey man, you tell me when he throws 2 in the cover up. Just let me know, because I didn't see it through the whole fight.
Put in YouTube and see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out, bro. I'm gonna have to this weekend. I'm gonna have to sit down and watch it, man. I had turned it on and passed out when the Hispanic guys was fight. I think one of them name was Garcia or something.
Yeah.
I
Hey, that
passed
was
out,
probably
bro.
one of the better fights of that
I
was
know, and that was
man,
pretty
they got
recent.
money.
And I passed out, man. I did, but I'm gonna say this though, man. A lot of people ain't been recognized. I've been watching the fight game for a while now. I ain't been real big, heavy in boxing, right? But I've been heavy in this MMA game and
Combat
just
sports.
watching the skill level of the striking, right? For so many years, brothers had that we had that on lock, right? And then after us, it was the Hispanic, brothers. They was in there too. They got some dudes with some skills too, and But I'm gonna tell you something, man. In the last 10 years, because of MMA, right? I've been noticing that a lot of these white guys can really put their hands together, bro. So I behoove you, brothers, not to lay down right now and think that just because this dude is white, you know what I mean, you're gonna roll over. You
Like
know what I
Nate
mean?
Robinson thought.
And that's the thing, bro. You got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. Whenever you go inside that ring, you got to
Absolutely.
know what you're doing. You got to know your opponent, and you need to be prepared. Otherwise, ain't no use in getting in there.
That's fact.
Whenever you throwing up your hands at all, you need to be prepared.
You need to be prepared, and so
Right.
a lot of brothers ain't, they just taking that, yeah, this ain't gonna, you know what I mean? This ain't gonna, I can handle this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it ain't. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what that remind me of? I don't know if y'all remember it. You remember the two twins, the white dudes that was in the max, little short, stocky dudes that love beating up on brothers. Do you remember them?
Oh, yeah, I think I do remember them. Little short, cocky dudes. I remember
Yeah,
them.
man,
Yeah.
D1. Hey, I watched them do. I watched 3 or 4 of their fights, and the first time I watched them fight, it was a brother named Austin from the projects. He went back there thinking, yeah, he caught dude with a nice 2-piece off the flip, staggered him, shook him. Dude went down, but he stood back up and came out his jacket and was like, "Come on." And I seen the look in his eyes when he did that, bro. I seen the look in Austin's eyes like, what the, you know what I mean? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this ain't gonna be one of them fights.
Because
This
I can
little
give you
dude
my
got,
best shot.
hey, and they went at it. And I'm telling you, yeah, it when the police came around the corner, they said police. The look on Austin's face was thank
Whew.
God, right?
Yes.
They
Oh,
got
God.
it in though. They got it in, but
Yeah.
separated them when they went to they cleaned up. They was both bloody. And after about 30 minutes, that dude came back out, went to dude's cell, said, "Hey, I'm finna get you back out." The white dude went to Austin's cell, said, "Hey, finna get you back out so we can finish this." You know what he said? Finna
He
get
said,
away from my cell.
I'm
And that,
finished.
I'm telling you, and that right there was one of them moments. Like, yeah, just don't take it on face value that just because, of a person's skin color, that they might
Facts.
not know what they're doing. Now
I
I,
that's
like
I
real
know some
tough.
white boys that can get
going.
down.
I like where that's going
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's something that us as a culture have an issue with, and will really literally get you slumped because of you judging books by their
By
cover.
the cover. Ain't no doubt. ain't, no,
So
ain't no doubt.
yeah,
And
Hey.
this just the era, since our era, bro, really, it ain't been a lot of fighters that came after our era, bro. I
Right.
ain't
no,
seen it
it's
like that.
shooters. It's
Yeah,
shooters.
Yeah.
yeah.
They
And
shooters.
that to me is that I don't understand that. I mean, I don't get it, bro. I don't. When I came home, I told my sons, I took them to the gym and I told them, I let them see, the old man, you know what I mean? Let
Yeah,
me show you something, you know what I mean? And ever since then, my youngest son been like, hey, when can we go back to the gym? When can we go back to the gym? When can we go back to the, because it just ain't nobody been teaching them like we was taught, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? How to put their hands together, you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
it's
Everybody
facts.
want to pop them things, man, which is the most ridiculous
Watch
thing in
so
the world to me.
with that said, I want to go right in to our host, the man of the hour is you, Reese. But
That's
our
what's up.
host, I want to start off with asking, what's your opinion, man?
So,
what is your opinion for today?
my first opinion, man, since we talking about boxing, my first opinion, did y'all hear about the next opponent for Floyd Money Mayweather?
You mean Mayweather is coming out of retirement?
Mayweather is coming out of retirement again, right? To fight a I mean, like it's the highly anticipated opponent of Logan Paul.
Who is that?
Paul, that sounds familiar.
So in case that last name sounds familiar, because he's the brother of the cat that knocked the fuck out of Nate Robinson, right? Is his brother, right?
Wow.
So Nate, Logan and Logan Robinson, and I mean Logan Paul and Jake Paul are brothers, right?
Wow.
They both have had professional fights, or they both had a professional fight with other YouTubers. They are YouTube celebrities, is what they are, right? And I think Logan Paul got his notoriety because he showed a dead body in Japan or something like that. Anyway, he got like 1 million streams for whatever he put on YouTube and became this YouTube darling, right? Well,
Right.
now when I heard about this, I'm thinking that Logan Paul called out Floyd Money Mayweather. I was mistaken.
Wow.
Mayweather called out Logan Paul. Now, my problem with that.
Hold on, I gotta stop you here.
Yeah.
Mayweather is retired.
Right.
Mayweather is retired.
Okay, and on top of him being retired, he is the only undefeated boxer on earth.
Ever. Floyd Mayweather is 50-0.
Okay, so he's now coming out of retirement to put himself in jeopardy of blemishing the one thing that no one on this earth has. And because this guy, Paul, is what? Not good?
So I'm not saying that he's gonna blemish nothing. This is still Floyd Mayweather we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I know we had the conversation about not underestimating white boys, but this is Floyd Mayweather. This is Floyd Mayweather we talking about.
Hey, let me say something. Let me say something though, right? What comes to my mind right now is gimmick. Number one. Right.
Super
Number
gimmick.
two, if a person get in the ring and they ain't scared to throw a punch, anything can happen.
Okay.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Bro, I love you, but I can't say that's a fact. I got now if you get into a fight and you not afraid to throw a punch, anything can happen. I could agree with that. But you saying to step into a boxing ring where there are rules, there are things that go on, there are certain skill sets, there's certain things you have to know when you step inside that square circle. Heart, that's one thing, but I know a whole lot of dudes that had heart that was boxers that didn't have the speed, that didn't have the power, and got knocked the hell out. You know? Now, this dude is already 0-1. He lost his first fight to another YouTube dude that coincidentally kind of looks like Nate Robinson. I ain't, no cap, but he kind of.
Are you telling me that this guy's not even a professional long-term fighter?
He has had one professional fight, and I use that word only because he got paid to get into the ring, not because he is skilled or has training of hardly any kind. He's had one fight, Floyd Mayweather, and lost against another YouTube dude, right? And he is 0-1, and his second fight is against 50-0 WB everything.
So he accepted the fight
for all the money they gave him. For all the money they're talking about giving him, hell yeah, he accepted the fight. You know,
that's why I said give me.
I would accept the fight.
That's
wait a minute.
I'm gonna accept the fight.
Me too.
Wait a minute. Me too. Me three. You know what I'm saying? But at my age, with hell yeah, I'm accepting that fight. Here's the thing. It's something I just remembered going back to Nate Robinson. Do you know how much Nate Robinson got for that fight?
How much?
Take a guess. How much you think?
How about $2 million?
How about $600?
Wow.
Man,
no cap, bro. Wow. 600.
No man getting $600 to get knocked out, bro.
Hey,
he didn't think he was gonna get.
COVID-19 got him out there bad, boy.
Bro, he didn't think he was gonna get knocked out. That's the thing. He was talking. That's rent money. He was talking super trash leading up to that. He was all on Twitter talking super trash.
Realized something too. You're right. COVID has really put a damper on a lot of things.
Right, I'm telling you.
It's really hard for any star to stay a star. Anything to be completely up and running without fans and people coming to pay money to do so. And since we can't come, we're not going to pay money, so we're not going to show up. And I can see the suffering. Wow, this is really deep.
Hey, you see what Dana White did? Dana White went all the way to Dubai, bought an island, fly the fighters out to Dubai, where they stay out there to train and get tested COVID-19, and they fight, but there's no audience in it. It's just the ring, the referees, and the referees and the ring judges.
Man, to be honest with you, bro, if I was still boxing in this day and age, bro, if I was a professional athlete of any kind, I don't know if I could. I mean, of course, I would have to do it if I'm a professional athlete. I would have to get out there and do my job and perform. But man, I can just imagine. Like I remember having to go up to the gym in the max and not play in front of a crowd. Man, that shit sucked.
It really did.
You know what I'm saying? That shit
it's
sucked.
hard to get into the game.
It's hard to get into the game.
The energy ain't there. Like, you know what I mean? Even at the NFL games, that's why I think they allowed some fans to be there, which is cool, because even when I went to the bare knuckle fights, they had a limited amount of seats, right? So it was enough. There was enough space in the auditorium so everybody could stay 6 feet away from each other, and you had to have on your mask, and that was cool. You know what I mean? And that made it be nice. But that's why I was telling you, when I went to them fights, I was seeing MMA fighters, you know what I mean, and some professional boxers. I think one of the little Hispanic guys that was boxing at the one I went to, he was undefeated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but you know, you got to pay the bills, and if ain't no fights, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
but they still bare knuckle fighting though.
All right, y'all. Let's get into the show. We had a good start. What we got on the agenda for today?
All right. So, I want to know first off. So we talking about COVID. Like, actually, we done hit on a whole lot of the things that we gonna talk about on the show today, man. So about a month ago, or rather for the last couple of months, we was heavy on politics for a minute, all the way leading up to the election. We was super heavy on politics, you know. Now there was, I mean, it might have been a smidge of Trump bashing, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, just a smidge, but at the same time,
We
because
didn't
I
Nate
am neither.
Robinson him.
Yeah,
We didn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We ain't even Nate Robinson. You know what I'm saying? But and I think the reason that is because I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I am like the truest definition of an independent. You
That's
know,
right.
because there's things that I am conservative about. There's things that I am liberal about. You know,
That's
and
right.
it's like whoever is rocking with what I'm rocking with, then that's who's liable to get my vote, right?
That's right.
At the same time, um, Trump is just an idiot, and I am just glad that he is gone out of office come January the 20th. However, at the same time, it's like me and Hero would discuss over these past couple of months. I really wasn't that I wasn't that completely sold on Joe Biden just because I mean, Reese, 1994, you did. So I really wasn't.
No, tell the public what happened in 1994.
So in 1994, there was a bill passed that was authored by Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. That is the crime bill. That if you were on the streets, it's probably the reason why you were locked up. And if you were locked up, it's the reason why you only had a year to file your appeal due to that crime bill. That 1994 crime bill was basically an attack on I'm gonna say black men, you know what I'm saying? But black people as a whole. If you was out there, if they sniffed and you was in the vicinity, you was gonna wake up in the county jail, you know. So from 1993 was not a good year to get incarcerated because that was an election year. Then 1994 was not a good year to be doing anything illegal because that's when the crime bill was passed. And so from that point on, it just skyrocketed, which increased mass incarceration, you know. So I mean, due to all that, so in encompassing Trump, encompassing the political era, encompassing COVID-19, encompassing in our area the rapidly growing violence in Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago, you know, what? And I know that I'm about to throw everybody for a loop, but what movie would the era that we're living in right now be best described as? Like, what's a movie that you can think of that best describes where we are right now? If you could put right now in a movie that's already been made.
No, I was thinking about this, and one of the my thought process on this was, because I'm not in the city like that. Where I'm at, I'm in a little small town, man. Where it's not a lot going on, but everybody, it's a family oriented town, and it's you don't hear no sirens, nothing, right? But the thing of it is that a lot of people are not connected to their heritage or their history, right? So, because, some brothers, got good jobs, live in nice houses, drive nice cars, and all of this, it's like they forgot
Exactly.
where we came from and how we got to this stage to be able to have those opportunities and all that. So the movie that came to mind when thinking about that was that movie with Janelle Monáe in it, Looking For. But the reason why I think that it would be a good watch is because so many people say, slavery and all that, and oh, that'll never happen. That could never happen to me, or this wouldn't, or this couldn't happen. This, but what you're not aware of is that the only reason slavery happened like that was because it was a law.
Right.
And do you see how, at this day and age, people will follow a law, whether they agree with it or not,
That's
whether
right.
it's doing wrong or harm. Like look at the situation where they took, the Hispanic children and put them in cages away from their families, and this, some people stood up and said something, but people will allow law, whether it's, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, humane or
That's it.
not.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying? And so slavery was a very inhumane law, right? That lasted for hundreds of years. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? And people think that that can't happen again.
I think the reason that is though is because people are politically uneducated.
That's right. My movie that's coming to my mind is a recent movie, and it's gonna throw everyone off. And it's by I think his name is Peel. Yeah, I think his name is Peel. He directs now from Key and Peele, and the movie is Get Out. And uh, the reason why I see that movie as a thing of now is because if you watched that movie, it's about people that are all in cahoots in the destruction of a race, yet the race blindly walks right into it with the hand of the opposite, with the hand of the oppressor, and happily walks right into the trap. And when it's too late, it's too late. It's already over with.
Yeah,
What's going on?
right,
You're done. You know?
man,
And so
man.
the thing now is, right now, why I tied it in is because I know now what we're in is a thinking game. The youngsters and the highly aggressive, not able to think, brute-minded people are the ones shooting up everything. They're the ones killing up everything and trying to go to prison and throwing rocks at prison, while the real thinkers are no longer even thinking of using their gun. They're trying to persuade you into walking right into the trap, talk you into it, give you a few Christmas gifts, because Christmas don't always come on the 25th of December,
Right.
and get you right into the door. So that was my movie that I tie into the times that we're in now, because it was so subliminal what Peel did. And a lot of people call them sellouts or Hollywood figures, but those two mixed brothers decided to do something that a lot of people don't do, and that's expose, while right in the face of Hollywood, expose Hollywood, and as well expose the mindset of our oppressors. Like
Now,
it's really real, man.
I
now,
agree.
the crazy thing is, I think Antebellum was directed by the same, written and directed by the same dude.
For real?
Oh,
I
for
think
real?
so, bro.
Okay. Now, I'm definitely in.
Yep,
Because
I think
everything this
so.
guy has been putting out, I'm really into.
Yep, I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I think Peel did this one too.
Okay.
Antebellum. Yep.
I'm definitely gonna have to check out Antebellum. Uh, Now the reason why this question comes to mind is because I actually asked this question about 3 years ago, right? When Trump first came into office, and the movie that I came up with at that time 3 years ago, or rather 3.5 years ago, was, have you ever seen a movie called Idiocracy?
I haven't, but I heard of it.
I haven't
It
even heard of it.
I've heard.
Idiocracy was, you know what I'm saying, it was kind of like a comedy, you know what I'm saying, because it was it was talking about how, like, you had Macho Man Randy Savage that was the president, or he was a congressman. Freaking Ving Rhames was the president at the time, and this dude goes forward in time actually to a time where they stopped drinking water. They was drinking Gatorade or some crap like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no water consumption at all. Everybody was drinking Gatorade, and they had been drinking Gatorade. Like Gatorade was being used to water plants. You dig?
Ow.
It was a government of idiots is where they got the name idiocracy, because it was a government of idiots, right?
Right.
That's how I felt it was when Trump first got elected, right? Now, the movie that I would relate now to would be The Purge, right?
I thought about The Purge, bro. I was about to say The Purge. I was about to say The Purge, bro. Get out my head, man. You gonna stop that, bro. I swear, bro. You gonna stop that, bro.
I'm telling you, man, The Purge is what I see.
The Purge is more where we're heading.
Well, The Purge 2 is where I think we're heading. You know what I'm saying? The Purge 2 is where I think we're heading. Like right now, it's like, to me, it's almost like a mix of The Matrix and The Purge, because Trump got all the Trump. Hey man, listen. So to anybody that really does not keep up with politics, Barack Obama in the last election that he won he got the most votes by anybody in American history, right? Well, Joe Biden in this last election knocked all that, right? Joe Biden got over 80 million votes, and he beat Barack Obama's total by like 11 million votes. But here's the scary thing as to why I say The Purge. Trump beat his record too, and he lost. Trump had 73 million people that still rode with him. You dig what I'm saying? And that number beat Barack Obama's too. So while it's 80 million people that rocked with Biden, you got to remember it's still 73 million people that think like Trump do, you know? So that's not good. And so that's why I keep saying The Purge is the movie, because look at what the main thing was in The Purge. Who was it that everybody was chasing in The Purge? A black dude. Right? Somehow, huh? I hear you, bro.
We can't hear you.
They was chasing the black dude, but the thing was, all of the homeless, undesirable, was open, was on the market. You could do anything that, but really because of another purge, it was anybody. Anybody could get it, but in the movie they was chasing the black dude, or or people that were homeless, or they made sport out of them.
Now it was in basically in all the Purge movies, it was you could ride on anybody for 24 hours.
Right.
You could ride on anybody and commit murder and get away with it. And it just so happened that it was like, well, let's get rid of these homeless people, let's get rid of these black people, let's get rid, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was basically whoever it is that you got a problem with. If I don't like this broad at work because she took my job, well, I'm about to tie her and her family up and just have, and have at it with all them, because that's what they went to go do to the old girl in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Her neighbors was like, oh, hi, Karen. And then next thing you know, when the purge happened, they got them all tied up. And who was it that saved the day? The same brother that everybody been chasing the whole movie.
Kind of kid, right?
You know what I'm saying? I think the Purge 2 was where we headed. That's why I'm like, man, this ain't the time to be all, no, absolutely no disrespect, but this ain't the time to go all MLK Jr. You know what I'm saying? This is absolutely the time to go Malcolm.
Malcolm time.
It's Malcolm time, man. So,
well, you know what? I'm a firm believer in this right here. This is the one thing that I learned in all my many years spent away from society, right? I'm a firm believer in self-defense, right? But I don't, I'm not a person now that is going out and trying to engage. I would never like go out and then try to engage. Like, you know, you run across people like the road rage thing. You know what I mean? And all these people are carrying guns out here now, I notice, you know.
Oh,
Everybody
But you
legally.
know, and you know, these people will roll up on you on the highway and cut you off or at the light, or and then they looking at you and they screaming out stuff. Then it's like, to me, if I think about that, like, why would this person have the confidence to do that? That's like a setup. You understand what I'm saying? So most definitely when we talk about that, you know, being in Malcolm, but I'm just a firm believer in that you have a right, you know, to protect yourself, protect your family, and
that's
protect
right.
your hood. You know what I mean?
So with that said, I think that our next subject is about gangs and the what is it? What is it? Scrap.
So it's like, do you think, all right, so gangs are prevalent around the nation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's gangs that have reached uh various continents on the globe. You know, the gangs that are the American gangs have reached Asia, have reached just different locations and different continents on this planet. But let's just talk about the gangs that's here in Kansas City, right? Talk about the gang. Matter of fact, let's hit Kansas. Let's hit Kansas and Missouri. You know, the Kansas and Missouri gangs uh have been rampant. Now I can speak firsthand about Kansas City, Missouri. I can see what's going on in St. Louis. You know, is there a way? Uh is there a goal, a topic, a common good that you think could bring the Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, the Vice Lords all together for a common good, a common defense, and a security for the community? Do you think that could ever happen?
I believe it will, because I believe it will because it'll be a must do situation. One thing that is evident in our culture as a people is, and we're firsthand with this, especially being where we come from. We would watch on a daily basis all other races getting along and looking out for each other. And we would always say this, and I guarantee you goes across the board for every brother probably on this earth that has watched and been in our position. We would always say, why can't we do that? And the one time and the only time that we seem to be able to do that is when it's time to arm up and harm others. That's what we come together for. That's when we come together. That's how we really are able to make our moves. That's how we seem like to bond and unite. So I say that it's possible. And what I'm seeing out of the 73 million people that did decide to be on Gang Trump, if they were to unite, because I have a few on my page, a few guys that I posted on my page that were radicals and were saying what they're going to do and prepare to do and showing their weapons, and also letting it be known that this is how they feel if Trump loses and to prepare. When we see that, we as a some type of second nature or will combine and have to pick up arms and have to go and protect our own. we will not be eliminated. We will not die. We will not lay down. That's just something that is proof throughout all our history. Before the slavery, it's been shown that we refuse to lay down and just die.
Right.
So, yes, we can. And the only thing I hate about it is that that's the only reason it seems like we seem to come together. So,
Right.
so I've been personally thinking of solutions, and one thing that I've stood on, and I made a post today: Black minds matter. We got this thing says Black lives matter. They definitely matter, but Black minds matter, and we do not address our mental health as a nation. And so, if until we start addressing our mental health as parents, and also understanding the things that we have to install in our children, such as the control of envy, pride, and jealousy, those ingredients for murder, we're going to continue. What in the world is going on here? Okay, get this. What happened?
Don't worry about it, man.
I don't know if y'all can see me or not.
Yeah, we can see.
But until we address that and start showing our dealing with our children's mental health and our mental health, we are going to always succumb to this impoverished lifestyle and mindset, because it is our mentality and our mental which we must strengthen most right now. Like, that is the most important thing right now. Not how to shoot a gun, not how to stay alive. Staying alive is instinct. You can't teach it. But preparing in a situation that is life-threatening is mental health. You get it?
Right.
Like,
right.
It has to be taught. It has to be shown. And so my thought process is, yes, we can unite. If
What
we
you think?
our mentality.
You know what? I don't know. When we was in, living in that confined space that we lived in, with so many multitudes of different uh or organizations and everything, right? Uh, I remember, Cop. I remember how Ronell, me and him used to chop it up all the time about this, and how, remember how the administration wanted to keep the brothers from, if it was 3 or 4 brothers standing together, walking the yard, 5 brothers standing,
Right.
they would always come and tell us to
Break
break
us
it
up.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a approved group, or
Right.
all of that, right? But it could
Right.
be 30 white guys out there doing whatever, working out, having a meeting, having a group session, or it could be 50, Hispanics out there doing. But whenever it was 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 brothers, they made a point to come over with a show
Break
of
that
force
up.
to tell us to say. So systematically, that's always been an issue for us, right? But I remember how we got together and we thought up, we came up with a way for us to be able to sit down and talk. You remember we went and we joined the Rastafarian call out, right?
That's facts.
All of the head members from all of the different organizations came up there, and they were invited, and we sat down and we had a conversation like what we're doing now. And we laid it all out on the table, and we said, these are the issues that we facing. There don't seem to be a way for us to be able to sit down and communicate and talk things out in a healthy manner to come up with solutions, because of the administration and their opposition and it to us gathering together. So let's use this, because it was a spiritual call out, as our forum to be able to have or a common ground, safe place to sit down and discuss issues or problems that are happening amongst us and see if we can come to a resolution peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that today that's one of the reasons why so many of us that was doing those large sentences, that was in these different organizations, how we're still able to come together like we're doing right now and communicate and reach out to each other. We have built a bond between us that surpasses our affiliations. You know what I mean? Now
Facts.
don't get it twisted. There's some brothers that now that we're out, I feel like they went backwards. You know what I mean? I ran into a few of them, and it's crazy that they've allowed their affiliations to keep them from communicating, with a brother that's, uh, we build history with. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, some people do that. You know what I mean? Some people go in there and use that as a crutch, you know, but for the most part, a lot of us that participated in trying to build that and build our nation of people, you know what I mean? We still communicate. We still got each other's number. We can still call each other up and be there at a moment's notice for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For those things that are positive and righteous in nature, you know what I mean? We'll be there for each other. And that's the thing that I think is most important when we're talking about in our communities, like having the community centers and doing it. We don't do the block parties no more. We don't have the community centers where they're putting together Christmas parties or whatever, something to draw people in. We don't have that interaction with the parents of these people that we can go to and say, hey, there was an issue between your and my son. Maybe we can get together and sit down and talk about this and see. We don't have that no more. You know what I mean? What I see now is that, but the reason why that is because I don't think that a lot of the parents nowadays, you know, and a lot of the younger people that are out here participating in these acts of violence really understand the way that we do after doing 25, 23 years, 29 years, after doing this much time, the effects that it has on all people involved and surrounding the involvement of this, how it affects our community. Not being able to be there for my sons while they were growing up and needing to me to be there. You know what I mean? Um, just just so many ways that either dying at a young age or going to prison for long term, how adversely that affects us as a people, not just self, but as a people. They don't really get that. They can't and still act like they do. But I think one of the biggest things that we can do for brothers in gangs now is to set up something like that where these brothers can come together, sit down, and have conversations, know each other, and have conversations. You know what I mean? But education too. Education is one of the biggest things because that's when my life started to change, is when I started to educate myself and realize that I wanted more than I had. You know what I mean? But
Right.
most definitely creating a safe place, a forum. I don't care what it is, whether it be a community center, a center, a place. One of my dreams was to have a place where just brothers could come, and I'm not talking about like just males. I'll say that where we had places where we could throw conventions and have speaking engagements, where it had a library in there, it had job resources, people to help with homework, brothers that were mentoring, everything that was dealing with building up strong black men. I wanted to have a center like that one day. That was one of the things I dreamed for like the last 25 years, bro. You know what I mean? That's what's needed
Yeah.
because without that,
That's
we're, eh, That's a, you know, without the brothers like Kamal, brother Esau, you know, so many of them, Mr. Dixon, so many of these brothers that were there to help kind of nudge us when we needed nudges or drop a seed in our mind that grew. You know what I mean? So many brothers like that.
That-
Yeah. And so we need to be those type of brothers to these brothers out here. And if you, but it can only come if you want it. You know what I
Right,
mean? I'm not trying to
right,
force nobody to hear what I gotta say. But if
right,
you're looking for somebody to sit down and have a conversation with and know that whatever you talk to me about is gonna stay between us, and that the advice that I'm gonna share with you is given to you out of love and with the hope and aspiration that you will better yourself, prosper, and and do good. You know what I mean? They need to have that, bro, and I don't think they got that.
right. I agree, but it's like which kind of bleeds into our final topic of the night, which is I mean it's just what you was just hitting on, bro. It's like, what does it take to build young men into strong men, you know? And I think I think the ancestor Frederick Douglass said it best, is that it's better to raise strong children than to repair broken men, you know. And that's what I've seen on a daily basis, not just now, but I seen it in the joint. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are a plethora of broken men who, if are released, are not going to do what they are supposed to do because they are still broken. Now, that's not even to besmirch who these cats are, because it's a reason why they
They
are how they
broken,
are.
right? It's a
It's a
reason,
reason why they're
right?
broken. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? And their brokenness didn't just happen.
right,
It was because they were not strengthened as young men. You know what I'm saying? Going back to bro's mental health thing, you know what I'm saying? Going back to what Ant's talking about as far as the everything going back to post-slavery disorder, you know, all of that comes into play. Negrescence comes into play, you know.
That's right.
Uh all of that comes into play, bro. And so we don't have enough mentors. We don't have enough mediators. We don't have enough that's willing to give what we all got in abundance, man. And that's time. I don't have as much money as I have time. You know, I'm wealthy in time. I'm broke financially. You dig? So right now I can't give money, but I can give a young man my time. I can be a mentor. I can show him through my experience. I done did the gang bang thing. I done did the gang leader thing. I've done all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I say repeatedly on this show, I think I screwed up a whole generation of young dudes after me. You dig? And so I feel that it is my duty, even though they say that my debt to society has been paid because I did time, my debt to society has not been paid, because I still feel like I owe a debt to my community, and I owe it to my community to make sure that I do everything I can to preserve what it is that I can preserve of this next generation, and make sure that they don't fall into the same traps that we fell into. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. And like you were saying about the center, I had that same dream, bro. It's like, for me, I want I want a school, a center, I want a supermarket, I want a bank, uh, and let me see, I want a laundromat. I want a whole lot of stuff, and I want to put it
I
all in the black community, bro. You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
I think
go
that
ahead.
we all share. I think we all share a common goal in service. We want to serve our people because we realize we were the advocate for destruction for so long.
Mhm.
And when you wake up, you want to rearrange. If you wake up, you want to rearrange your wrongs and make some
If
rights. I want a school. My dream was always to have a school for the old and the young that didn't have nowhere to go, and I was gonna pair them. And the one thing that you had to do in this school to stay in my school and to stay on my campus was I would pair you with an elder, and the elder's job was to teach the youth, and the youth's job was to give their strength to the elders.
Mm-hmm.
And so every day, that youth would have to go either take out trash, do whatever needs to be done physically for the elder, and that elder has to give knowledge to the youth, as well as the youth going to school and classes, because I wanted all of that on the campus. They didn't have to leave. So we all have the same common goal of trying to serve.
Now here's the thing. So with all of the schools that we all talking about, we're all talking about time, and what we all have that we can give. We got experience, we got information, we have knowledge, we have wisdom. All of these things. That's why I tell everybody that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, because there is so much that I have up here that I've learned over my years that I want to get out there. You know, I have to I cannot go away from this earth and transition with all this still up here just hoarded, you know. So I have to be able to get out what I know, you know, and be able to disseminate it to the youth, you know, because I know that I would not be the man that I am to this day were it not for some of the cats that you mentioned, bro. If it wasn't for Uncle Earl, you know, rest in peace. If it wasn't for Uncle Nate, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Tommy, if it wasn't for John Boy, you know, if it wasn't for some of these dudes, man, that laced me, if it wasn't for Brother Esau, you know, these are some of the dudes, man. If it wasn't for Talib, you know,
yeah.
What, man? Listen,
it's a lot of them, bro.
it's
Over the years,
bro.
And it was amazing, you know, because I remember coming in there, and I remember being released in the population, bro. And they didn't wait. They immediately let me know, you know what I mean, that there was rules, that there was a certain way that you was gonna handle yourself while you was here and conduct yourself. They immediately let me know that. And I remember one time, bro, Kamal hit me in my chest so hard, bro. You know, I'm thinking this old man. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Man, he hit me in my chest so hard, bro. My chest hurt for like 6 months. I thought he broke my chest, bro, for real. You know what I mean? And it just let me know that, yeah, don't think you know, too big that, you know, your elder can't tell you. You know what I mean? But yeah, if it wasn't for them brothers, and he called me 2 weeks ago, man. I talked to him, I seen him, I talked to him. He's doing good, and he's still, you know, I'm working on a house, a property that I bought, and he's still like right there, like, you know, boy, I know how to do it all. I can build a house from the ground up. And I'll come over there and show you how to put this floor in. I'll show you how to change out this hot water tank. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's that wisdom that I'm talking
that's
about.
what I'm saying. He's still giving, bro.
Yeah.
You know? And so same way, what they gave to me, most definitely, I'm gonna pass it on and give it back to those brothers who will use it wisely, because time is precious. Even though we have time to give, time is our most valuable gift, because one of these days we're not gonna be here. You know what I mean? And you want to make the best of your time and give it to people who will appreciate and value it for what it's worth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, that's what I do. Brothers that I run across, that I meet, that they at that point in their life where they are open and uh willing to hear, you know what I mean? I'm most definitely gonna spend time with them, bro. I go check on them, and you know what I mean? I still communicate and all of that, because I know how, even in the moment, they may not get it, but I know, because it's happened to me. Things that Uncle Earl said to me 10 or 15 years ago still, you know what I
Still,
mean, in
yeah,
my mind,
real talk.
Uncle Nate, just the example that Uncle Nate was. He was just because
Oh
Uncle Nate
man,
didn't talk a lot, but the example of man that he was, them
spoke
brothers,
volumes.
man. Yeah. So most definitely
That's
we
right.
we know we can just do our part, bro. And again, as more brothers start to come home and we can link up and we all start to get ourselves situated, maybe we can start going into these schools and have a forum where we can have a conversation, we can share some stories, and what I mean? Maybe we can travel around to St. Louis, and what I mean, we can do things like that,
All right.
whatever.
So let me hip y'all and everybody something. So Scope KC is me and my guy Johnny Waller's nonprofit organization. Scope stands for Second Chance Organized People Empowered, and the people who need a second chance is people like us. You know what I'm saying? So we work with ex-convicts. We work with we work with the prosecutor's office to help reform and refunction the legislature that gets people sent to prison to begin with. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Like they actually, bro, it's sad. I'm telling you, it takes everything in me not to spaz out, because it's sad that you have prosecutors around the nation that have these drug laws, and then when they get cats like me and Johnny in the group sessions and we all talking about it, it's like we never saw it like that. So if we just if we don't look at all people as drug users that need treatment, then you mean more people would be helped and less people would be sent to prison? Yeah, duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just listen. But it's not the fact that they not listening, they don't want to hear.
What you're doing is what you guys are doing is you're trying to cure the tree. The tree is poisonous. We know this. Also, Reese, you missed our last episode on the defunding the police, and I believe that there's no such thing as a good police officer, because it's no way that you can have a poisonous tree and have good fruit falling from it. It's impossible. You have to cure the tree in order for it to grow good fruit. And so I make it very plain and very simple that as long as you are a part of the system, like I said, I have a cousin who is a police officer, and I've had a conversation with him before I went down, and uh, I've seen him only once since I've been out. And like I said, I'll never say that I'll never be one of the guys that say, oh, not all cops are bad. No, every last one of you are bad until we cure the tree, until we cure the system, until the system has changed all of y'all poison. It's as if it's also the same for us as gang members. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Until we reach back into the reasons why we were in a gang in the first place and why gangs was put together, we all poison, because we have to understand the root. And if you do not understand that the root is bad and the roots is poisoned and you don't cure them, there's no way you can get good fruit from it. It's just impossible.
So this is about to be my jerk moment. So my jerk, we about to go into my jerk moment, because my jerk moment is saying, I wasn't bad. I wasn't. I was absolutely right. And what I was absolutely right. Absolutely correct with the with the upbringing, right? With the culture of the streets, with everything that was going on. I don't think it was nothing that I was in before going to prison. I was in survival mode. After while in prison, I was in survival mode. Like none, like scrap. Scrap is an entity that was created, you know what I'm saying, to bring out something in me that was like
that you had to do to survive.
You had to. Scrap came out, you know what I'm saying, on the streets.
Now, I want to take my virtual hand and smack the jerk out of you. All right.
That's what's up.
Because,
I feel you.
because this is why. Because now, if you were the same scrap at hand then as you are now, I could understand what you're saying. But you're not the same scrap. Now we can bring him out. But you have decided that you have to change. You cured yourself. Because if you didn't, you would be on the same survival tactics. See, when I say that there must be a cure, you are the epitome of the truth of my statement. And why I say that is because you have decided to change, which took that decision was your cure. You could have came out here and been a lot of the old man and the same thing that has made you what you had to be before you went in, while you were in, and then you made a decision.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes, you can.
One of the things I would like to share is that I believe that it's all about the journey. Now, one thing that we talked about, I think we've had this discussion before at some point, Scrap, but man is not born all knowing.
No.
Right? So, in order to acquire wisdom, right? Not knowledge, but wisdom, experiences have to happen.
Facts.
Then, through our experiences comes our divine right given to us by the Creator, which is choice, right? Stay the same or to make another choice and do something different, right?
Right.
So, I agree that becoming a part of an organization
That's
at a
poison.
young age for the wrong reasons, behind the wrong motivations and all of those things, yeah, that was poison, like you said. But I look at the tree now, right? And
Right.
I don't want people to be blind to this fact that I did almost 29 years in prison, right? And you know how people will like to define you, put you in the box, and tell you what you can and can't do. All that in is crazy. But I've only been out less than 2 years. I got a great job that paid me over $20 an hour. Own a home, right? I've had 3 different vehicles, all nice. You know what I mean? I got money in the bank. You know, I got out and went to college. And at some point, I'm going to go back. Only reason I'm not in there now is because prison stagnated me on my computer skills, right? But I got aspirations of one day becoming a mechanical engineer, right? And it's not that difficult. You see what I'm saying? I know that I
Right.
can do this. But if I would have stayed in the mindset about what everybody else was defining me as, right? Ain't no telling what I might be doing.
Right.
But
Facts.
there is a success story for all of us just waiting on us to claim it. What can't we do? If you can survive 23, 25, 27, 29, 36 years in prison, you can conquer the world.
Straight up.
You know
I
what I
dig that.
mean?
Dig
All
that.
you just got to do is know who you are,
Know who you are.
Mm.
I
right?
mean, that's where I see. So it's like I believe a problem exists when there's a discrepancy between where you are and where you want to be, and you can't figure out how to get from one place to the other. But I believe a true problem exists when there's a discrepancy between who you are and who you want to be, and you can't figure out how to get from one person to the other. You know, that's where your true discrepancies is coming in. So it's like you got a lot of people that don't know who they are, which takes me back to Talib. You know what I'm saying? The very first, hey man, that dude had me befuddled for an entire year on one question. Who are you?
Who are you?
Who
That's a
are
big
you?
question, though, bro.
That's a huge question,
And
bro.
it's you know what? I hit people with that right now today. I asked a sister 2 weeks ago that same question. I said, "Define yourself for me." Man, that turned into who I want to be, what I hope to be. No, who are you, right? And you, before you can take one step in any right direction, those questions have to be answered,
Must be answered.
right? But I also
Gotta
wanted to,
solve that problem.
my whole point of the story that I was telling you is that I wanted to say this right here. Everything that happened, right? I wouldn't change none of it. Even though doing all that time we were suffering, it was horrible, bro. It was horrible. And yeah, I've been in some dark places in my life. It was horrible just because I didn't know who I was, right? But the creator had a path for me to walk, right? In order to gain my wisdom, because wisdom is not for free.
Right.
You feel me?
Feel you.
All of that stuff that we went through, hero, all of that stuff,
Yeah,
you couldn't be hero if you wouldn't have went through all that stuff you went through.
you
So
right.
you got to be thankful for it. The
You
things
right.
that those people put on us to try to destroy us,
Yeah.
look what it did to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
most definitely, there is a journey that has to be had. You know what I mean? There
I
is a
agree with
journey.
that.
And so those brothers that's out there that may be lost right now, right? In our opinion, they going through their journey. And
That's
it's
right.
only the creator at the end of the day, you know, that can say what you need in your life to happen in order for you to have the understanding that he needs you to have in order for you to fulfill his plan for your life. Nobody can judge that. That's between you and the creator, right? So I stopped a long time ago trying to look at a brother and saying, no, what I'm saying to you is whatever your journey is, brother, whatever your journey is, I hope that you are walking in the light of that which one who created you and that you fulfill his promise in your life.
That's
That's
right.
what I say.
Now I'm gonna
Because
tell you. Go ahead, bro.
yeah, just because I know, like I said, man, I done did some bull and I done been some bull. And you know what I mean? But
Straight up.
I wouldn't change it. I
You
wouldn't change
cured.
it.
You
I,
cured. You had to
I
cure.
wouldn't change it because it allowed me to be able to make the choice to be who I am now. And the person that I am now, when I look at myself in the mirror now, I'm elated.
That's the cure.
You feel me? I'm
That's your.
elated. I'm
That's the cure.
or I'm blessed beyond measure, without boundaries.
we got.
And I
We
wouldn't
gotta have.
change one bit of it. I wouldn't change one bit of it, bro.
No.
The judge telling me what I wouldn't change none of that. Not
No.
one bit of it. You know what I mean? Because I know I couldn't have got where I am right now without having to go through all of that.
Because all of that was food for you. Like everybody that we ran into, every book that we read, every negative or positive experience that we had to encounter along that journey, all of that was food.
That's
And
right.
we needed it. We needed to eat all of that to become who we are to this day. You know what I'm saying?
I got this. I wanna put this out there.
Okay.
To just check it out.
Hold it up so we can see the author's name.
Elaborate on this.
Scotty Vasco. Okay.
And you got to order this book, right? This book was somebody encouraged me to read it.
What's the name of it?
Avoid the Machines. And it's a story about the future. And in this future, they have a race of people who are trying to exterminate, eradicate, and enslave a group of people.
What's the name of the author?
Scotty Vasco.
Own it.
And I haven't read it all yet, but it's just food. It's just food for thought, bro. You know what I mean? You know me. I'm always a person that wants to be prepared. You know what I mean? For anything. Not just for something negative or harmful, but even when we talk about, like when I told you about, bro, you need to figure out how you're gonna be able to handle not being able to go to the hole when you get on the street. You know what I mean? Preparedness is key.
Time
out.
What I mean? Time out. So I got to go back now. So to those of you who have absolutely no clue what bro's talking about, let me enlighten you. So like I was a little bit of a trip at a certain part of my life. Just
jerk moment.
I was that was not a jerk moment.
I'm about to have a jerk moment. I'm going into a jerk moment right now.
That was I wasn't having a jerk.
You are never, when it comes to your behavior in your younger days,
but it wasn't.
Can use this at all. You can use this. You can go like this.
Right.
You can go like this.
Right.
Take your fingers and get them out of the equation.
Because it was never this.
Okay? Because they were never like this. Okay? This is something that is what you've never been. Okay? This is itsy bitsy. This is teeny weeny. And we're not going there.
So remember that virtual hand that you just hit me with a second ago?
Okay. I just hit you with
my virtual hand.
No, anyway.
All right, so I mean, I might have been a little bit of a trip when I was younger, right? I might have got into some stuff. Well, that was the creator coming into my life and putting people around me, because no matter how much of a trip I was, little bit, lot of bit, everybody knew that there were certain people that I listened to. You know what I'm saying? And if I respected you, I would listen to you. If I didn't respect you, 9 times out of 10, we had a fight. So that was just what it was back then. If I didn't respect you, stop talking to me, bro. Like, get away from me. Reese is somebody that I've always respected, right? So I listened to him, right? And he told me one time, because I was like, you know what, man, I can't handle this. You know what I'm saying? These guards is getting to me. I'm about to beat one of them up. You know what I'm saying? I think I was about to beat up what's dude that I left out the chow hall one day to go whoop him because he made me miss my visit.
Not Tinsley.
No, not Tinsley. Actually, is who saved Buddy. Hero, who was that? Because I left my coat.
I remember that day too. It was so crazy. You was really hot about that day.
I was hot.
That was a situation there.
I was about to go trash dude.
I can't remember the cockroach's name.
I can't remember his name either. You know who I'm talking about though, Reese. He was down in B1. He ended up being the head of a crew later on out at the minimum.
Black suit. He got to the black suit.
He was a black suit at one point in time. Anyway, long story short, you know, I was about to go trash buddy, but and I was like, I can't, you know, it's too much going on right now, man. I gotta go give me some solitude. I'm about to go to the hole, you know what I'm saying? And I was telling this to Reese, and he said, bro, what you gonna do when you get home? I'm like, what you talking about? He said, it ain't no holes on the street. What you gonna do then?
It's facts.
So when you get me, so you know that I'm thinking about it when I go, because if I'm in one mode and then I go, huh. That's how you know I'm thinking about what you said. I'm like, huh. Tall black motherfucker got a point. You know what I'm saying? Like, this little lanky ass boy, he got a point. You know what I'm saying? That was some real shit. I can't help but to listen. Like, I don't, in my life, regardless, I have a commitment to listen to the truth. Whoever says it, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that was one of the main things that I got from Malcolm. If you tell him the truth, it don't matter to me who says it. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens in this particular case, it happened to come from somebody that I already respected, somebody that I already listened to. You know what I'm saying? But that's and I never forgot that, bro. Like, never forgot that. That was 20 some odd years ago. I never forgot that.
I like to piggyback on that just to for the audience, for them to understand that what it was a humbling understanding of pecking order, something that we don't have anymore. I realize I want to share that today. I went to one of my closest friends' house today, and his household is one of those houses that, you know, you went to when you was young, and, you know, you got away from your home, from your mama's house, and you could do all of the things that you can't do at your mama's house. And I walk in, and there's every bit of about 15 youngsters in here. And 5 of them is his kids and their friends and cousins and all of this, and they're all in here. And I come in, and as soon as I come in, they like, hey man, can you let us hear this song our pop's been talking about? So I gotta get my phone, let them hear my song. And as they're listening to my song, they're like, oh man, it's so dope. They going crazy. And then they say, man, we want in. Like, how can we be down? And the thing in my mind now, as I sit here, I'm thinking like, the things that I'm able to do right now with all this crew of young, crazy, nuts kids, I could either do one of two things. I could completely put them into my own little storage, and we can go ahead and get crazy and go, you know, rip up the town, or I can show them how to be successful in what they want to do, which if they want to do music, be successful, how to control how they react in scenes and in places, and give them the opportunity to make a decision that we never had. Because I don't know about a lot of guys out here, but my prison stint came from having people around me that didn't tell me what not to do. You hear me? That I respected, because I had no understanding of honor, of humbleness, and a pecking order. And so when you are listening to someone else that you respect, of course you're going to accept what they're saying. But if you don't respect them, well, you're not going to hear anything that they're saying.
Right.
And where we're at right now is in a place where what you are saying is what we missing as far as our youth, because they don't understand pecking order. We've taught them that they're kings, and now that we've said that, they just want all of the blessings that come with being a king, but they don't want none of the responsibility that it takes to be a king.
Right. Now
They don't want to. They couldn't work and actually give up over half their paycheck for bills. They can't do that because they're kings. You know, I don't have to give anything. I don't have to do anything. That's what we're teaching them. And so the beauty of the story is that we get to actually go out here and make a decision and actually be the example, because we real cats. We the solid ones.
Mm-hmm.
We the stump downs. They don't make them like us no
sure
more.
don't.
And so if we can humble ourselves and they respect us, guess what we showing them? We showing them how to humble themselves. And when we say king, that's what we need to understand, that we need to teach them. If you're a king humbles himself.
If you are a true negoose.
Yes. If you are a true negoose, you understand that you are in servitude.
Go.
And go. All of this is tying into what we want to do, our dreams, and what we're speaking on, and the platform that we're being blessed with. It's about humbling yourself.
And you know, I learned, and I'm gonna tell you how I learned this. You know, just got locked up. You know, I just caught my case, and you know, like you, my thing was I despised the police. Right? Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But
Get on that.
I had just got locked up, and it was around January, Martin Luther King's birthday. And, you know, they were showing all of the stuff about him on TV and everything, and I wouldn't even watch it. You know, but it was like, bro, they got the story, they got Martin Luther King down here on the TV, but I wouldn't even go watch it. But this particular day, something came on, and I think I was waiting on the phone to come open. So I was just sitting down there watching it by the TV, waiting on the phone. And I remember this, you know, they had one of the marches that he did on the White House or whatever, and they was coming across this bridge. And if you can remember, well, if we can only imagine how it must have felt back then, where, you know, they could beat you, kill you, shoot you, stab you, sick the dog on you. They didn't have to worry about no repercussions. In broad daylight, in front of everybody, they could basically do what they wanted to any black person, right?
Right.
And you know, all these people were marching, and you know, there was these people on the sides of the roads with their cars. They had dogs, and they were spitting, and they had shotguns and deer rifles, and they were screaming out all these obscenities and everything. And you know, Martin Luther King, he holding his wife's arm, and they was, you know, walking down the street, you know, and somebody started shooting. Right, you heard the shooting, pow, 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 and all of them people that was marching, just think they all got down and like was getting ready to go in panic mode, like start fleeing, and the people waiting on the side. That's all they was waiting on, was the chaos, because then they was gonna start clubbing them, and you know, mob like attitude. And
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King, you know, he dug down for a minute and he looked around, then he stood up and he fixed his tie, and he reached down and he for his wife's hand, and she grabbed his hand. He stood her up, put her arm on his, and started walking down the street. And it was in that moment that I seen pure strength in that man's humility. You know what I mean? Because how many men will walk into a volatile situation like that, unarmed, knowing what could happen, and was a high probability that something was going to happen, but the head held high and walk. I couldn't even imagine.
It's hit him and kept going.
I couldn't even imagine that. But in that moment, it changed my whole outlook about that. You know what I mean? It takes real strength to be able to do something like that, bro.
Them's
You know what I
facts.
mean? And
Them
so
facts.
it was through that moment right there that I learned that you can be humble, you can have mercy, you can have um, humility, and be humble with people who don't know no better or don't have no, because most times we only act
Yeah,
like that out of ignorance. You know what I mean? And that shows strength, and that's the way we should do. Like I don't gotta snap because some dude at the quick trip barges in the door in front of me and then say something slick. I don't always gotta respond to that.
Right.
I can just hit him with,
right.
excuse me, sir. You have a nice day. Go ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You understand?
Facts.
So people need, especially us, as young men, the younger generation, they need to understand that, man. For a thinker, you understand the value of your life. You don't give it away on no nonsense. That's because
That's
there's
right.
so many people out there who don't got nothing to live for, and don't care about their life, don't care about their family's life. They don't care. You know what I mean? Ignorance. You know what I mean? Like animals.
Hey,
You know, don't give your life away for something like that.
Now, I think that one of the things that it ties into, we're gonna wrap it up, uh, is like I've discussed on this show before. Like we dealt with the animal kingdom in the joint. You know what I'm saying? You had lions, you had tigers, you had gorillas, you had bears, right?
oh my.
Oh my, you know, he always do that every time.
Every time
every
he said,
time.
oh, no.
Every time I bring up the animal kingdom, we gotta hit the oh my. The thing about the animal kingdom though was that all of the apex predators very rarely got into it with each other. And why was that? Why was the apex predators not getting into it with each other? Because all of them knew the price that they're going to have to pay. This lion know what he's into if he get into it with this tiger. This tiger know what he got to do if he get into it with this bear. This bear know what he got to do if he get into it with this gorilla, and that gorilla know what he got to do when he get into it with that lion. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some death, period.
Straight up. One of us got to go.
One of us got to go, and the other one is gonna know it. Is gonna know that they was in a battle. It ain't like you about to be too much better off, even after the lion ain't gonna be too much better off after the bear is gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's not gonna be too much better off. He's gonna be mortally wounded because you know what you got. Now out here, I don't see it really being a whole lot different. The only difference is we're not dealing with a lot of apex predators. You know what I'm saying? We dealing with a lot of beta predators that got put in an apex predator role because all the apexes left. Right. So you got dudes that was thrusting. It's like when some did kick off and all the heads went to the hole. You know, you got all the heads in the hole, and now what? The seconds got to rise up. You know,
that's right.
So that's what ended up happening on the streets. The problem is a lot of the generations, especially the real younger generation after us, is soft, you know, to the point to where I'm looking at these kids nowadays. You got 9-10-year-olds that are just so emotional. I don't know what they are feeding these children nowadays, but I'm telling you, bro, they get emotional over like, I'm gonna have to tell y'all some stuff off the air at a different date, man. But these kids is emotional messes, bro. So we talking about raising strong children, you know, man. That's it. I don't even blame the children. I do not blame the children. I blame the parents.
I know.
I blame the parents. You know, it's not on these kids that your baby gets emotional if he strike out in softball. That's not your baby's fault. You know what I'm saying? That his very first reaction if he strikes out in softball is to throw the bat at another child. That is not, look, that is no, that was a learned behavior. Or that was something that did not get corrected before, because that's not something. No.
Yeah.
Hey, so check this out, man. Hit me with y'all final thoughts. Hero, what's your final thought? What's your positive thought for the night, man?
Man, my positive thought, my final thought for the night, man, is definitely, you know, I'm on this, I'm really on this mental health thing for us as black people, for real, man. And so my positive thought tonight is definitely take time out. I will have to, for those of you that do, please take time out, sit your children down, talk to them about greed, talk to them about envy, talk to them about jealousy, and talk to them about emotional ties to life, to everyday life situations, so that they can be prepared and not be the next person behind the trigger. I want to stop us from having these senseless killings. Always going to be someone that's got more than you, and it's always going to be someone that's got less than you in every genre and in every part of your life. Be happy and be content with what you have. If you're reaching for higher, you will achieve it. And that's my positive thought for today. Stay on your mental health, stay positive, stay focused, and please, please do not covet the next man's life. Period.
That's what's up, man.
What's up?
What about you, Reese? What's your final thought? What's your positive thought?
I would have to say that an important, three things come to my mind when I think about importance for us to really contemplate on. Understanding is one. Take time to try to understand, your neighbor or the people that you come in contact with, to understand, to put yourself in their shoes and just try to understand. Number two would be forgiveness. I think it's important to, I know that in my life, I haven't always been the best person that I could be, and I wanted to be forgiven. In order to be forgiven, you have to be able to forgive. So forgiveness is important for us in our community. And number three, educate yourself. Take time, right, to really, and I'm not just talking about in school, I'm talking about to know thyself. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about, we talking about spiritual health, mental health, but just knowing thyself, right, and defining who you are. Big step in prosperity and growth. So those are the things that I would like to ask, the people to really just take time to contemplate on.
Right.
That's what's up, man. I'm a piggyback off you, bro. So I think mine is gonna be just on the learning tip. You can't Malcolm said you can't consider yourself a learner. Hold on, he said a man can learn nothing unless he considers himself a learner, right? And I completely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? You have to open your spirit up to the spirit of learning. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize that there's certain sects and blocks of time that you need to learn. You know what I'm saying? And you have to realize that you can learn from anybody. You can learn from a dummy. I have learned from a lot of dummies
Big facts.
what not to do.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? If you just pay attention, like like I was saying a little while ago, man, everything and everybody has been food to me, you know, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It's like I learned from you what not to do. I learned from you a model of what I could be. And that's the whole thing when we talking about kids, man. They, you know, kids or people in general have a hard time, not saying it's impossible, because I don't necessarily believe impossible. You know, I believe difficult is something that can be done today. I believe impossible just takes a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? But if as a child or even as a man or a woman, if you can't see it, it's hard. It gets a little harder because you don't have that model. You know what I'm saying? So you building something from scratch. Again, not saying it's impossible. It's just going to take a little bit longer because I haven't seen how to do this. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I got to try to figure it out on my own. Right. I will. I will. It's just going to take a while. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you open yourself up to being a learner, you're going to pick up on it a whole lot faster. Right? All right. Man, we're going to wrap this up, bro, man. Hey, I appreciate my guy Reese for coming through, man. Hey, man.
Through, bro.
Much love.
Through, man.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, bro. Even though my bedtime is 8:30.
You're right.
That's what's up. Anything for my brothers. Anything for my brothers.
You coming back? You coming back for the next one with bro, right?
Right. I'm coming back.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so I'd like to thank everybody that rocked with us tonight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that left comments, and KP, you little retarded little dude, you ugly too. You know what I'm saying? Talking about we ugly. You ugly too. You the ugliest one of us all. You know what I'm saying? Got some nerve.
You just got pretty hair.
That's it. That's it. That's the only thing cute on you is your hair. Hey, man, thank everybody for rocking with us tonight. Thank my guest, Reese, my co-host, Negus Cafaro, a.k.a. The Hero, man. Hey, remember to check us out every Wednesday night. Notoriously Opinionated at 8:30 p.m. Check me out every morning. AM Opinionated at 8 o'clock in the morning. I do this Monday through Friday. I take the weekends off because I ain't mess with y'all on the weekend like that.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I gotta get some rest, man. Hey,
bro. I'll see y'all soon.
Check this out. One last thing. Support small and black businesses, man. Patronize them. Keep the black dollar in the black community longer than 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Seize the day. I take that back. Seize the moment. You might not make it through the day.
Ain't no doubt.
Tracking. That's tracking for real.
Well, we tracking. Peace.
That's what's up. Peace.
We out.
We out.